It's time to wake up.
Welcome to Ask the Guru. A customer recently asked me the question, why did you get into the protein powder business? Well, that's a loaded question because it goes back a long ways in time. Let's start from the beginning. When I was 13 years old, I got my first weight set for Christmas. I loved that weight set. You know why? Because I was a skinny little 13-year-old kid with like 10-inch arms and didn't even weigh 98 pounds, like a 98-pound weakling. I was below that. So when that arrived and I saw in the box, Bruce Randall, just the massive arms on this guy, and he was curling, and I thought, wow, that's what I want. So I equated that barbell set with my big arms and a big body. Why? Because, you know, you're in the neighborhood. You want to be a tough guy in the neighborhood, or you're going to get picked on, or you're going to beat up, or you're going to get something. So I wanted the big arms to scare people off. So I got that weight set and started training. Well, then I realized after I read a few muscle magazines that, hey, you need to make sure you're getting plenty of protein, or all your hard efforts of training with weights, pumping iron, doing all this is going to be for naught, simply because you're not eating enough protein and you're not eating right. So I went upstairs to the kitchen and I said, you know, I think I'm going to make a protein drink. I thought, gosh, they just gave me some sketchy things to do. Use this, use that. So I used milk, raw egg, non-fat milk powder, and then I mashed up some peanut butter as best I could and then put it in and kind of stirred around. But I put this all into a little mason jar, you know, the little glass jars that you put the top on. And I thought, no, there's got to have something more in here. I need some more calories, perhaps. So I put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in there. That was my protein drink, the original protein drink, the original J-Rob protein drink. So I screwed the lid on, shook it up until I could get it as melted and smooth as possible in a jar. I didn't have a blender. We just didn't have a blender because we didn't have the money for it at the time. So I shook that up, poured that out, and that became my afternoon drink before I worked out. So I came home from school, had my drink, and then did my workout. And that was how I mentally got into the protein powder business at 13. But it wasn't until when I was 26, I opened my first fitness club, and that had gone through a period of me getting into bodybuilding, getting heavy into it, and so on. And so that was when I realized protein powders and all these things were very serious business. And this was back in 1980 when I opened my first fitness club. So there weren't a lot of gyms around. There were almost no health food stores anywhere. And so I, created a line of supplements, and one of them was a protein powder. So the customers, or my members, I should say, would drink the protein powder, and we all trained and so on. Well, I eventually sold that club and then got into the health food world, health food store world. And it was first job I got doing that was at Jimbo's in North Park in San Diego. And I realized that I looked for a protein powder, and they didn't have any good protein powders. A lot of them were just soy or whatever. And so I developed, actually my original product was a milk and egg protein powder. So eventually I started the business and put together a milk and egg protein powder and began using it and teaching people how to actually mix that protein powder up. I put it in the stores, and from there I just branched it out. There's a lot more to this story, and I'll fill in the details in other episodes. But thank you for tuning in to Ask the Guru, and I'm here to answer your questions. Hang loose. Get the chill on, hang loose.